Hi, this is Steve Merril, wagertalk.com, right back here on Wager Talk TV with your college football top 25 video for this Saturday, October 1st, week 5 of the college football season. And October is here, and it's not a surprise. We have the most top 25 head to head matchups that we've had all season. We've only had two each of the last 2 weeks. We've got five top 25 matchups this Saturday, October 1st. Conference play is here, and the top 25 powerhouses are playing each other big time this Saturday. I'm going to give you my personal power ratings in every one of these games. I'm also going to let you know which way I lean when I see value and matchup analysis as well. Everything free right here on Wager Talk TV. Quick reminder, all sports is here for the month of October. When I mean all sports, I mean all sports. This is the only month of the year in which you can play every sport in the single month of October. College football, pro football, Major League Baseball, we know that's all here. Don't forget the baseball playoffs start in a week, World Series right around the corner. But the NBA pro basketball is only about a week away, NHL hockey as well, and of course, college basketball less than a month away. October is the month to have all sports, and there's never been a better time to get it right now at wagertalk.com because you can get the rest of 2022 for less than $7 per day. That's right. If you like $9 Monday, it's even better. Now you're getting $7 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day of the week for $7. And it's even better than that because I average 2 to 3 plays a day. That's working out to about $2 to $3 a game. Everyone gets excited for $2 Tuesday, which comes around very few. One guy a week is $2 Tuesday. You get the rest of my plays all season for basically $2.50, $3 each. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. No promo code needed. Go there right now, whether you're signing up on Saturday or if you're going to wait till Sunday. It doesn't matter. The promo is good through this weekend, but every day you get on sooner is a day that you save and start winning sooner because this is a very special price for the rest of 2022, less than $7 a day. Every best bet, every sport I release, no promo code needed. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. And by the way, red hot in football, 16-6 college and pro the last few weeks, 12-3, 80% run on the NFL the first 3.5 weeks here. And also all sports 24-11 the past 2.5 weeks. So baseball, college, and pro football all smoking it right now. Wagertalk.com. All right, big card, as I said, 5 head-to-head top 25 matchups this Saturday, October 1st, week 5. Going to go down in start time order. This isn't necessarily schedule order because obviously the rotation schedule varies. So we're going to go down in start time order, and I'll tell you these games are all on national TV, of course, for your viewing pleasure. Let's start early, 12 noon Eastern on ESPN. Number 7, Kentucky at number 14, Ole Miss. First, let's look at my power ratings. My power ratings favor Ole Miss by 7.5 points in this game. The opening line was pretty short in this one, and we did see some early sharp money come in on Mississippi this week, and I would agree with that move. It opened as low as 5.5 at a lot of sports books and went up to 7 midweek. But now as we head on Friday night into the weekend, it's back down to 6.5. And once again, my power ratings make it 7.5. So I do think there's a little bit of line value with Ole Miss in this game. If this was the 1990s, Ole Miss would be a slam dunk play. And the reason I say that is they have a huge rushing edge in this game. They average 281 rushing yards, 5.8 yards per carry. Kentucky averages just 92 rushing yards, 2.8 yards per rush. Back in the 90s when I started 25 years ago, man, that was an automatic slam dunk best bet. But now it's a different game, obviously. Kentucky can get away with that lack of rushing game because they've been really good throwing the ball this year, averaging over 10 yards per pass attempt. Ole Miss only about 8 yards per pass attempt. So Kentucky's going to look to throw the ball. Ole Miss is going to try to establish the run game. I think Ole Miss has the edge, though, especially at home. And keep in mind, their defense has been really strong this year. They're giving up just 10 points a game and just 4.3 yards per play. So we get the better defensive team, the much better running game and line of scrimmage edge here. The one edge Kentucky does have, though, is that passing attack, and that always gives you a little bit of backdoor cover potential. But now that the line has dropped from 7 back down to 6.5, that backdoor cover potential is a little less worrisome. And once again, my power ratings favor Ole Miss by 7.5. So there's a little bit of line value with the home team here at 12 noon Eastern. All right, next set of games, we got 3 of them, and they all go at 3:30 Eastern. Let's look first at another SEC game, number 2 Alabama at number 20 Arkansas. That's on CBS at 3:30 Eastern Saturday afternoon. Alabama, my power ratings favor them by 21 points. My power ratings have favored Alabama basically in every game this season. They've shown there's line value, and that's surprising because you would think you're paying a premium to play Alabama, but for some reason the lines have been a little short, and the Crimson Tide are 3-1 against the spread this year. So there has been money to be made back in Alabama with those discounted prices. And once again, my power ratings do show this line to be a little cheap. It's currently minus 17. It opened as low as 15.5. The early money did come in on Bama's. Once again, I think that opening number was too low. And as we head into the weekend, we see both 17 and 17.5s out there. Now, obviously, 17 is a very key number, so a lot less value at 17.5 or more. At 17 or less, there is some line value with Alabama, but this is a dangerous spot because the one game Alabama didn't cover this season was also their one true road game, and also the only time all season they weren't favored by at least 40 points or more. They've smoked Utah State, Louisiana Monroe, and Vanderbilt, but they were lucky to win against Texas. Could have easily have lost that game, of course, and they won 20-19. Didn't even score the point spread. They were a 21-point road favorite. And I do a show every week on ESPN Radio in the Tennessee Valley, Alabama area with Tom Abraham. And Tom follows Alabama extremely closely. He had a great point this past Thursday when we were talking. He thinks Alabama has been a weaker road team the last couple of seasons because Bryce Young has a lot of responsibility. He can check at the line of scrimmage. They give him a lot of leeway to change plays at the line of scrimmage, depending on what the defense is doing. And he thinks it's difficult for Alabama on the road for that reason. Hostile environment, louder crowd. You've got 18, 19-year-old young kids still that aren't used to these environments. And Alabama definitely has underperformed in road games the past couple seasons, including that one game at Texas a couple weeks ago. So even though the power ratings favor Alabama at minus 21, I'd tread very cautiously in this game until we see Bama do something on the road. With that said, though, not a good spot for Arkansas, coming off a tough 23-21 loss against a top 25 opponent in Texas A&M last week. That was a neutral site in Irvington, Texas. Of course, we previewed that game right here on the video. I mentioned that the point spread was 1.5, 2. My power ratings were 5. A&M won by exactly 2. That game was a hard-fought game, and sometimes a close loss like that can linger. Wouldn't think Arkansas would overlook Alabama, but you wonder how much they have left in the tank here. So line value and situational setup do favor Alabama. My concern, though, is that they have not been great on the road, including that one game at Texas this season. All right, let's look at a third top 25 matchup, also at 3:30 Eastern, this time in the Big 12, number 9 Oklahoma State at number 16 Baylor. That game is at 3:30 Eastern on Fox, and my power ratings favor Baylor in this one by 2. Once again, Baylor a 2-point favorite in my power ratings on this one, and the real line in the betting market, 2.5. So pretty much spot on. Line opened as low as 1.5, 2. It has been bet up to 2.5. Obviously, 3 is a very key number. We'll see if it hits 3 by this weekend. I have seen some sports books out there go to 2.5 minus 115. So if you like Baylor, I'd recommend going ahead and grabbing the 2.5 now on Friday night when we're doing this video. If you like Oklahoma State, I would hold off and try to get a +3 by kickoff on Saturday afternoon. It might not hit it, but obviously 3 is a key number. You're better off waiting. If it goes down to +2, not a big deal. Once again, my power ratings favor Baylor by exactly 2 points in this game. Oklahoma State, a perfect 3-0 this season, 2-1 against the spread. Meanwhile, Baylor, 3-1 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. So both teams have been pretty profitable so far. The one thing for Baylor, though, they've played 4 games this year. They've had no turnovers in 3 of those games. In fact, the only game they've had turnovers, they had 3 turnovers against Texas State. Still won that game by 35, and that was coming after that tough overtime loss at BYU. So I do think it was a little bit of a flat spot. Baylor otherwise has not turned the ball over this season. They've been a very efficient team on both sides of the ball, outgaining their opponents 6.2 to 4.6 yards per play. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State, 7 yards per play, 5.1 allowed, but they've played a pretty weak schedule of opposing offenses. So Baylor does look to have a substantial defensive edge in this game, but I think Oklahoma State probably the better offensive team. Once again, my power ratings favor Baylor by 2. Current line is 2.5. All right, we got 2 more top 25 games to look at for Saturday. Also, a game that was just a bit outside from making the cut. I'm going to tell you about that bonus game here in just a moment. Quick reminder now, October is here. Saturday, October 1st, week 5 of the college football season. We still have several months of college football left. We have a huge NFL season remaining, about 3.5, 4 months there. NBA, pro basketball about a week away. Baseball playoffs start next week with the World Series around the corner. College basketball less than a month away. You get the picture. Now's a pretty good time to be an All Sports subscriber, and now is the best time ever to get an All Sports subscription because we have a huge discount right now this weekend at wagertalk.com. Go to my page, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. You can get the rest of 2022, the next 3 months of my best bets, every sport, every day, for less than $7 per day. Now, that's $7 per day for all games. I average 2 to 3 plays a day. You do the math, that's going to work out to about $2.5, $3 per play for the rest of 2022. We are red hot on a 24-11 all sports run the past 2.5 weeks. 12-3, 80% in the NFL the past 3 weeks. College football hitting as well, 16-6 overall college and pro football the last couple of weeks. If you've been sitting back watching winter after winter pass you by, make the commitment now. Take a serious long-term investment approach. Get the next 3 months for less than $7 a day. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. All right, let's look at a couple more top 25 matchups for this Saturday, week 5, October 1st. 3:30 Eastern, another mid-afternoon game, another ACC battle between Wake Forest and this time Florida State. And I say another ACC battle because Wake Forest was on this video last week playing Clemson. By the way, Wake is now ranked 22nd. They only fell like one spot in the rankings. Florida State, meanwhile, was unranked, and they're ranked for the first time this season. They're number 23. Wake is number 22. Odds makers aren't paying any attention to the rankings, though, because Florida State's a substantial favorite in this game. And I agree with that. In fact, my power ratings make them an 8.5-point favorite in this game. Current betting line is only 6.5. Opened as low as 5 earlier in the week, was bet up to 6.5. I still don't think it's high enough. I mentioned last week here in the video that I thought Wake Forest was a live home underdog catching a touchdown against Clemson. And had you told me Wake was going to score 45 points and have over 440 offensive yards, I would have thought they won the game outright. Didn't win the game outright, lost in overtime, but they still covered as a touchdown dog. But you got to wonder if that loss is going to linger. Tough, close losses like that are the type that can linger for teams. And after a high-profile game against one of the best teams in the country, a chance for Wake to put themselves in the national spotlight as a playoff contender, that all pretty much went down the drain with that 51-45 loss against Clemson last week. And I think this is a very difficult spot now against an underrated Florida State team, as I mentioned, that just cracked the top 25, 4-0 straight up, 3-1 ATS this season, including 3 straight covers against the 1A teams, the FBS teams they've played this season. Florida State's looking like a little bit of an underrated team this year. It's a good spot for them, too, catching Wake at the right time, and we get some line value at -6.5 because my power ratings make it 8.5. Little concerned that the Hurricane Ian hitting Florida could have been a distraction, but it didn't really hit the panhandle of the Tallahassee area, so I think that Florida State will be ready to play as normal, and once again, the spot and the line value favors the Seminoles on Saturday afternoon. All right, one more true top 25 matchup. Is in the ACC still, and that goes at 7:30 Eastern Saturday night on ABC. That's number 10 NC State at number 5 Clemson. And as I just mentioned, Clemson escaped with that 51-45 win against Wake Forest last week. And I do mean escaped. You wouldn't have thought that Clemson defense would give up that many points. I know it was an overtime game, but still, Clemson gave up a lot of yards to a good Wake Forest team. So the question is this Clemson defense as good as recent years? Statistically, so far, not the case. They're giving up 5.2 yards per play against teams that allow 5.6. They're outgaining teams 6.2 against teams that allow 5.8. That's actually better than NC State, though. NC State, a little bit of an overrated team here. 5.7 yards on offense against defenses that allow 5.9. So I do think Clemson's defense gets back on track this Saturday night against an overrated NC State offense. Now, NC State's defense has been pretty good this year. Less than 12 points a game, just 4.3 yards per play. Obviously, they had a tough game against Texas Tech. They won that one by 13. Haven't really been tested otherwise. Clemson's only real opponent, though, was last week as well, Wake, and they looked mediocre. So two teams that have really not been tested for the most part this season. So I like to look at the power ratings. And once again, my power ratings favor Clemson by 10.5 in this game. So I do think there is line value with the Tigers. A line opened around 6.5. As we head into the weekend, there are still some 6.5s out there. A lot of 7s out there as well. So if you like Clemson, grab the 6.5 while it's still available. If you like NC State, I would wait. Definitely get a +7, as this line will probably be +7 in most spots by Saturday. Either way, though, I like Clemson in this game. My power ratings once again favor the Tigers by 10.5 points. So it's 6.5 to -7. The line is cheap, and I think that's an overreaction to Clemson's near miss last week against a good Wake Forest team. And, as I mentioned, Wake might be a little flat after that tough loss. I don't think it'll hit Clemson as hard because Clemson's back at home. Wake's on the road. Clemson's at home, and they won the game. They still control their own destiny in the ACC, and I think they're still in a good spot to grab that 4th playoff spot after, obviously, the 3 favorites, Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State. So Clemson Tigers bounce back this week with a more impressive showing and a double-digit win, in my opinion. All right, those are the 5 true top 25 head-to-head matchups for this Saturday, October 1st. I want to quickly let you know that there's one game that just missed the cut. I know you all love the baseball videos this weekend, so we'll say one game was just a bit outside from being in the top 25, and that's actually Texas Tech against Kansas State. As I mentioned, Texas Tech has played a pretty tough schedule this season. They played NC State, a loss that kept them from being a top 25 team, even though they'd beaten Houston in overtime the week before. But solid win against Texas last week as a 7-point dog. Now they have to go to Kansas State. And this is really the letdown bowl because which team has a bigger letdown? Texas Tech, after beating Texas, as a touchdown dog, or Kansas State, who just beat Oklahoma as a 2-touchdown road underdog? So this is the letdown bowl here. My power ratings do favor K-State. It makes them 11-point favorite. The betting market's only around 8.5. So once again, there's a little bit of line value with Kansas State, but I don't really want anything to do with this game because I don't trust playing a team as more than a touchdown favorite. Actually, the line's down about 7.5 now heading into Saturday. It opened as low as 7.5 now. My power ratings make it 11. So the line is a little short, but once again, looks like a possible letdown spot for Kansas State after that upset of Oklahoma. So I'll be staying off this game. I wanted to point it out to you, though, because Kansas State did crack the top 25 AP poll with that upset win. Texas Tech is also getting some additional votes in the polls. They're in the top 30 right now. So the winner of this team will definitely be in the top game will be in the top 25 next week. Kansas State wins, they'll probably move up. Texas Tech wins, I do think they crack the top 25. So a game that was just a bit outside for making the official cut for this video. I wanted to mention it, though, because both teams coming off straight up big dog wins. Be interesting to see how that plays out on Saturday. That's why, by the way, an early game at 12 noon Eastern. Hey, hope you found this video useful. Don't forget my NFL Fade the Public video will be available on Saturday afternoon right here on Wager Talk TV. Quite simply, the most must-watch NFL video of the week, in my opinion. I know a lot of you out there love that video. Remember, hit the bell if you want an instant alert when the video goes live. If you hit subscribe, then hit the bell. You'll get instant alerts. Fade the Public is 11-3 this week, and it cashed again, fading the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football with the Bengals. So once again, the Fade the Public video has been fantastic so far. I'll have all of Sunday and Monday's NFL info for you this weekend here on Wager Talk TV. Also, don't forget about that great special, the rest of 2022 All Sports for less than $7 a day. That's every football, baseball, and basketball playoff release for each day the next 3 months for less than $7 a day. We're smoking it right now. 24-11 All Sports the past couple of weeks. So you can figure out the money you can win over the next 3 months with All Sports. No promo code needed. Check that out right now. I've got a super strong Saturday college football card and an equally strong Sunday NFL football card. Also, Monday Night Football is posted right now in advance. $9 Monday special. Get that Monday Night Football game right now for just $9. Special offer there at wagertalk.com. NFL on a 12-3, 80% run on my best bets the past 3+ weeks. 24-11 all sports, football and baseball. Check out that great deal the rest of the year for less than $7 a day. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. Thanks for watching. Leave comments below. I read every comment. I reply back. I love the support. I love the comments. Let me know your thoughts on these top 25 matchups where you see value this week. Maybe an under-the-radar game that you're looking at as well. And don't forget to hit thumbs up, like, subscribe. And don't forget also about the Wager Talk TV app. You can download it for your favorite device and listen and watch Wager Talk TV on the go anytime, day or night. I'll be back this weekend with my NFL Fade the Public video right here on Wager Talk TV. In the meantime, enjoy the college football games on Saturday. Best of luck, and I'll talk to you again soon.